Hi fitness family, my name is Cheryl Jones and I am your Rhythm Rumble fitness coach.
And I am Mike Jones, your Rhythm Rumble nutrition coach.
Yes, and today we actually want to talk about something that is always relevant to our health and always important to our health, but is specifically of specific interest to people at this time, and that is building our immune system.
Right.
How do we build our we call it our immunity muscles, so to speak, right, Mike?
Absolutely.
So, a lot of people defer to you, right, Michael, and they want to know, like, what do I do right now? What do I do to strengthen out my immune system, and what do I take, and what do I do? So we thought that it would be a good thing to talk about that to everybody, right? Let
Sure.
you know.
Sure.
Give you some tips about the immune system and what it is that we do to help keep our immune system strong. So
Right.
So my first question to you would be, Mike, what would you say are some of the things that what is the top thing that comes to mind when you talk about the immune system and what weakens our immune system?
Well, there's many things that come to mind when it talks about strengthening the immune system and things that weaken the immune system.
Right.
And as you said, so many people are concerned right now, and we're getting a lot of questions about health and the body.
Yes.
And the immune system
Yes.
as well, because the immune system is the key to health. It helps you fight anything your body encounters. So a healthy immune system is one of the keys to maintaining health.
Yes.
So one of the things that is so prevalent nowadays that damages the immune system and people are so used to doing is eating a lot of processed foods.
Processed
foods wreak havoc on the immune system.
Okay.
Because of the fact that they are nutrient deficient, they don't have nutrients, and the fact that they're essentially adding sugar to the body in most cases.
Right.
You're just eating another form of sugar, as well as they don't have any fiber, and many of them contain chemicals that's been added to them in the processing or the manufacturing of them.
Okay. I'm going to jump in.
Sure.
Right? And I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to assume or not assume that everybody knows what you're talking about when you talk about processed foods.
Okay.
We hear processed foods, processed foods. What are processed foods?
Processed food is simply a term used to describe foods that are not in their natural state, that have been removed from their natural state. For instance, you don't go by a farm and see a hamburger bun growing right? So that hamburger bun or that bread has been processed, from its natural form, taking from the wheat or whatever grains it's made with, and chemically enhanced and created to see what you see. Now, when you hear the term process, it's not to say that every single thing processed, it's horrible, because there's actually some foods in the health store that are processed to an extent, which is commonly referred to as minimally processed. Okay. So there is some processing that go on with some of the foods, but the rule of thumb is the further that food is taken from its natural state, the worse it's going to be for your body.
So let's give them a real simple thing to follow,
right,
so that it's not over. So I've heard we've said this in the past. If you see more than 5 ingredients that you on there that you don't recognize, then that's a problem.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Because we know. Don't think just because you don't understand the ingredients, that you just don't have that knowledge, or you're ignorant, et cetera, et cetera. What the basics of ingredients should be, whether it's wheat, milk, eggs,
grains.
More
than you think you know.
Exactly.
You give yourself credit for it.
Exactly.
So,
when you start seeing all these chemical names, which are basically, which are flavor enhancers, preservatives, and all of these things they're adding to it, well, that's that's not good.
Okay.
You know, and the longer that list is on the ingredients, you know, the worse it is going to be, because you're just adding more chemicals to your system, you know, in the form of preservatives and sodium and MSG
Exactly.
and all of these things that are going to damage and suppress your immune system. And so, you know, that's what I mean when I'm talking about processed. You know,
Okay.
the more they're processed, the worse they're going to be for your system.
So recapping, all right? Recapping.
Right.
We're talking about strengthening our immune system. We're talking about the immune system being the key to our longevity and the
Right.
key to everything. There's certain things that wreak havoc on the immune system. One of the biggest ones, or one of the big ones, I should say,
Right.
is processed foods. Processed foods being anything
Right.
that you cannot recognize 5 or more ingredients, right?
Well, I don't want to say that, because I don't
Okay.
want people to say, okay, 5 of it's got more than 5. No, that's not.
That you don't recognize.
But typically, you know, if it's ingredients you don't recognize, then it's probably not a quality food.
Okay.
And again, if you stick with whole grain foods such as your quinoa, your brown rice, wild rice, your whole roll oats in the morning, and those whole grains, or beans, your lentils and things like that for your starches. If you stick with fruits and vegetables, if you stick with lean, healthy proteins and healthy fats, which are important as well, and stay away from the corn syrups, the regular white sugars, the trans fats, and the corn oil, soy oils, and all of those unhealthy oils. You'll be fine.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
You just basically, I'm saying, stick to the basics.
Okay.
You know, if you do that, you'll.
Now, I know what you just said, Sam. If you do that, let me not cut you off. If you do that, what?
I'm just saying, if you do that, then you'll be on point. You'll be fine. You know.
There's so much to talk about with processed foods. I
Right.
don't want to take us into a rabbit hole.
Okay.
But I'm sure that there's someone out there saying, corn oil? What's wrong with corn oil? You know,
Well,
they hear
right.
corn and they think, well, what's the matter with that? Or, you know, I've heard people say, what's wrong with canola oil?
Right.
What's wrong with, you know, so, you know, someone's thinking that right now. I don't know whether you want to address that right now, because we obviously have to do this in
It is a rabbit hole, but like canola oil and corn oil, or if you see vegetable oil, they're not healthy oils. They're produced from genetically modified, like corn oils produced from genetically modified corn, and when you see canola oil, vegetable oil, a lot of times there's soybean oils, which are genetically modified soybeans, and so the list goes on. It's just not a healthy oil.
Healthy oils.
Yeah.
Healthy oils. Share with them.
Healthy oils. Olive oil, coconut oil. God help me out. We use the avocado oil. And
we just started using the ghee.
Ghee. Yeah, we started using the ghee.
How do you spell it?
Ghee. That's a healthy cooking fat, and those are our favorite cooking oils. You know, the avocado, coconut, and olive oil. Those are our favorite cooking oil. Those are your best options for oil, or you can use the ghee butter, which is also another healthy form of cooking fat.